When a candidate for a big position was nominated and she didn't want to think about it, it's necessary for mistakes to occur in our lives. And her aunt asked her to go back and memorize better than this talk. Here, Lucky's grandfather entered, and her aunt pointed the bulldozers at him and told them that he still hasn't made a decision. He will be the ruler after her. They left. A squirrel named entered her house, but he went down to the guest house and ruined everything for her grandfather and lost the picture he wanted to take. Because of this, Lucky's aunt took her to take her to her father in the countryside until the summer, and came back after completing her grandfather's election campaign. On the way, she kept talking about her father and how he changed and was no longer the same since his death. Her aunt told her that her father was a kind gentleman and was able to free her at the last moment, and told her to stay away from the wild horses. Her aunt went out, afraid for her, and thanked the gentleman who freed her. He recognized her by name. When they arrived at the station, she named him. Her aunt told her to be patient. The summer wouldn't last long, and she told her that she would like things to be like with her father here. After that, she told her that she would stay there until she went to the office to ask why her father didn't find them. Maybe a miracle would happen if she stayed in her place. One day, she saw a cowboy race. She went in to watch. The horsemen entered, and there was a girl riding a donkey. She really liked the view. The one riding on the donkey looked like her mother. Lucky stopped her and asked her what was wrong. She knew her mother. The girl told her that that lady wasn't in the area. She was a great horse rider. After a while, a little boy came and rode his little donkey and asked them to take them. She didn't want to, but he pulled her hard and made her ride on the donkey. Then she came, took the boy on her donkey, took her brother, tied him up, and asked them for forgiveness. She recognized them on her head and named her Abajil, and her donkey was named after him, Boomerang. And finally, they were able to reach Baja's house, who, as soon as he saw them, welcomed them very much. He let them into the house and asked for their forgiveness, as he was angry and did not have the hospitality. After that, he saw that lute with his daughter. He asked her about it, and she told him to give it to her in the cowboy competition. He told her that we always went to that competition, and she told him that the one there looked a lot like my mother here. He turned around a lot and went out after that. When she saw the trouble of a door that looked like a seamstress's house, she opened the door, and the sound of the lute was outside. After that, she ran outside to see there, and she met the girl she saw in the competition. She told her the lute that I was very afraid of in the show. After that, she asked her where the lute was. She told her the cowboys brought a new, wild lute, and they're trying to cool it down a bit. That gentleman came out riding on the new lute that he was playing with. That's how Morahar, what is the ood, from his back, and they threw him down. So the men started tying him with ropes, which made Lakit get angry. A gentleman came and told them that this is brutal treatment, and it is not good for them to train the ood. Here, she took advantage of the opportunity and freed the ood from the ropes, so it kept running happily. The ood asked what happened to her when she was in the train. Lakit and her aunt and her father were sitting at the dinner table, reading the newspaper and being happy. There, Lakit told her father about what happened to her today with the ood. Here, he worried about her. and told her not to go to the kindergarten or to the oud. There, she worried even more. He tried until he was able to get close to her and took the apple from her hands. One day, she put on the pants instead of the clothes as she liked and went to ride on him. But every time she tried to ride, he threw her off his back. Then he came to her. And indeed, the plan succeeded, and she was able to ride on him, and he ran out with her to the outside of the barn. The boy went to her father and told him what had happened, but he lied to him and told him that the wind had opened the door. Jim was frightened of his daughter at that time. She was riding on Spirit and followed her before he was going to throw her off. He threw her off and ran away, but they were able to catch her. The girls brought her, and he was very frightened for her. As for Hendrix, she said to him, "He will abandon me a second time." She ran after him. Then he told her, "I am only afraid and I want to protect you." But she did not listen to his talk and ran away from the garden of her house. She took the apple and went to a place full of butterflies that were lighting up to look for Spirit. As soon as she found him, he came running to her. She hugged her for a while until a flock of his family came out. Oud was happy with them. Lucky gave them the apples too, so they could eat them. After a while, they heard a sound coming towards them. It was him and his men, and they came. In order to catch the family, they rode it and took it to its friend, Bro, who had done a great favor to teach Lucky how to ride horses and freed her one last time. They asked her to help them free the Spirit's family. She gave her a map to show her how difficult and long the road was. Lucky showed her a shortcut, but there was a dangerous mountain that was difficult to cross with the oud. I told her that the train would stop at many stations and that we would not be able to meet them at the station. Two fathers came to them and told them about the dangers on this road. Lucky told them that they did not need to go with her unless they were afraid. She added that she and Spirit would go, but in the end, they decided to go with her and free all the oud families. On the way, she kept singing to them, and they kept talking about their memories and childhood. Then they reached the suspended bridge, and they had no choice but to cross to the other side. But it was very dangerous, and they fell on the rock until they stopped and let him cut that mountain of stone. This is how the other girls encouraged them and cut that dangerous road. When the first letter of fell on him, their name was not in the house. He went out to flip it and decided to pull the train's trailer and go flip it. At this time, the girls arrived. The two sticks entered it and fought the cowboys, and all the sticks came out, but only a little bit of drowsiness. This thing was nothing but a dream. As for the train, it was standing at the station, and my eyes were walking. Live. The girls fought and went down to free them. One of them took Spirit from it. The girls encouraged Lucky and decided to continue following them. At this moment, the cowboys arrived at the dock and began to move the sticks in the boat to escape them. But the girls arrived at the last moment, and they still opened the door for him. Lucky got on it, but the stick for the others. They all went out to the boat and started it, but it was impossible for her to stop. She stood on the bridge that leads to the boat with the stick and was ready. At that moment, her father and aunt saw her jumping from the bridge to the dock with the stick. She entered the dock, which moved and began to move away from her. As soon as it saw her, it jumped into the water. Hendrix and his men left them fighting with Spirit and went and opened the door to the other two sticks. He hugged her and asked for her forgiveness. The girls got on their horses and kept running with the herd. She told him, "You have to walk with your herd, just as I have to walk with my family." She hugged him and said goodbye with tears. They kept watching the herd of horses running and were happy because they had returned to their environment. When they returned home, her aunt told her, because the time has come for them to leave. Before they left, the cowboys went to the festival, and she wore her mother's clothes. Her father told her that this festival was the best place that her mother liked. Here, he went up to the stage and announced the news. Everyone was happy. A lot, and she kept dancing with her friends, and they were happy. I am putting the summaries at the same time as YouTube for the owners of the 6-star. We hope you liked the summary, and do not forget to watch the previous summaries and subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to watch the next summaries. Welcome, and we will meet in the next video.